What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. A few days ago I posted a top 5 characters that I personally believe will not make the transition from Tekken 7 to the inevitable Tekken 8. Today I'm doing the opposite. I will be looking at the top 5 characters who've made a huge breakthrough and breakout in Tekken 7. It can of course be newcomers I will be talking about who have, already left one hell of an impact on the community, but also maybe old characters, who have a sudden resurgence and revival in Tekken 7. So let's get going. So in the number 1 spot, I've actually put Armor King, who obviously is an iconic Tekken character. He's been with us since Tekken 8, but he has always had to take somewhat of a backseat to King, who is, obviously this was a sub-boss in Tekken 1. King was always the main dude, and King has always had the spotlight. In my opinion, Armor King has always been the cooler character, but King has been, the one that's been referenced the most in popular culture, and in terms of, character usage data, King's always been more popular than Armor King. But then, he actually, and this is why he was actually not meant to be in Tekken 7 in the first place. Only the original game and Season 1 DLC was guaranteed. Armor King was in Season 2. So the only reason Armor King is in the game to begin with is because the game was a financial success. Boom, we get Season 2, we add Armor King. And boy, oh boy, did that pay off for the developers and the community. This redesign is the best one I've ever seen, in my opinion, in the Tekken series. He's always been cool, but the things they did here with the armor, the fur, the chainmail, the armor on the legs, the red cape. Sorry, I don't know what it's called when it goes down your waist like that and your legs. And the belt and the new chains on the arms. He looks better than he's ever done. They just knocked it out of the park. Just incredible work. And you can tell it paid off in his character usage data. He's one of the absolute most powerful, most powerful, he's low tier, most used characters. He's like, in Season 2, I think he had like 3rd place out of, 45 plus characters. In Season 3, I think he's like 4th or 5th among 49 characters. He's doing incredibly well. Obviously not in tournaments. You have JDCR utilizing him, a character enthusiast. You gotta love JDCR for that. Armor King is a super cool character to watch. It's just that on paper, his tools are quite weak. So he's not a very strong character. He's like mid-tier, mid-low, I place him. But Armor King players don't care about that. They are all playing him like crazy. He is, without doubt, the character that, he's a legacy character, wasn't even going to be in the game, comes out looking like this, boom, explodes in popularity. So I'm very, very happy for Armor King. He is, without doubt, one of the, coolest Tekken characters of all time. And I believe that it means he will, without doubt, be in Tekken 8, and he sure as hell won't be a DLC this time. He will be in the main roster. He is just that damn popular. There is no way he won't be in the main roster. So every one of you likes Armor King, and there are many of you considering the data. Very happy for you guys and me. Well, us. So, yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think? The greatest redesign ever of a Tekken character, in my opinion. His gameplay is fun and interesting, and the fact that he is not SS tier makes him very rewarding to play, because when you win with Armor King, it's due to your own skill, rather than the character carrying you. Well, then it helps if your opponent doesn't have any throw breaks, of course, then you win for free. But yeah, I'm very happy for Armor King. To me, this is the biggest breakout of Tekken 7. Fantastic redesign, and bam, just ultra popular. And the next character we will be looking at is Leroy Smith, who after his reveal at EVO, I was there personally, you know, the crowd just went wild. And ever since then, the coming months after EVO towards his release, you know, hype like nothing else. You'd already see, you know, famous rappers, T-Pain, right? Sorry, I don't follow rap. I think his name is T-Pain, big American rapper, was already cosplaying Leroy, doing his super epic dance, even sporting the pimp cane. It was beautiful. I've never seen hype like that for a new original Tekken character, to say the least. This character exploded onto the world. And no wonder, just look at that. Look at Sugar to the bottom left there, and just his attire, his looks. And the fact that he's not 25, he's pushing 60, right? Finally, you know, some diverse age ranges. But I think he was meant to sort of replace Wang a bit. And Wang certainly is older. But I'm trying to make the point that I love this design. It is incredible. And they most likely sold a lot of Leroy DLCs due to this hype. He's all the way up there in the character usage data. I think he's like 6th or 7th. He's doing extraordinarily well, which you could tell when you know, if you were there during the release week, when you went online, like every other match was a Leroy. But it's hard not to talk about the backside of Leroy, or the dark side of Leroy, which is how he was on release. Just the most broken, one of the most broken Tekken characters of all time. Just a complete joke, made a mockery of the scene, made a mockery of EVO Japan. And there's still some controversy there in that it's hard to believe that the developers who absolutely know what they're doing, for the most part in terms of balancing, did not realize that this character was 3 times as good as the second best character. I just have a hard time believing that. They are so good at what they're doing. So I'm wondering if the hype train of Leroy meant that they felt, God, we better really push this guy. We gotta make him look real strong. Even to the people who don't know what they're doing, because a lot of beginner and intermediates are gonna want to pick up Leroy. They're gonna buy this character. Let's make them, you know, let's make it worth their bucks, you know. Let's make him real strong. I think there's a good chance there was some incentive there, because they felt that hype train. So, you know, better make the casuals look strong, buff the hell out of Leroy, and then tone him down. But yeah, that was a couple of months of torture, and to be honest, even when all of that is sort of over, I think he still needs some toning down, a tiny bit after all of the nerfs. But I still feel the character is lackluster. Not that his look is still godlike. That's a gold mine. Oh, it's so wasted in my opinion. His animations are beautiful, but when you look at the core gameplay and the core character in general, he's very uninteresting. There's no focus really on anything, you know, strengths and weaknesses. There's more like he does everything, and he does everything well. So there's no trade-off, there's no specialty in anything, and that, to me, is almost unforgivable, to be honest, considering how he doesn't play as interestingly as he looks. But he's one hell of a breakout character. The design alone carries him. Everyone is playing him. So yeah, you will see this guy in Tekken 8, like, no doubt. Huge breakout character. Mostly carried by his looks, I think. So that was the second character I wanted to talk about. The third character I will be talking about is Kazumi. Kazuya's mother, late wife of Heihachi, unfortunately had to kill her. That was actually a pretty emotional and heartfelt moment in the story mode. Best part of story mode, in my opinion, was Heihachi and Kazumi, how she turned on him. And yeah, what can I even say about this character? She's played a lot. She's like 10 in character usage data. She's 10 or 11. She's one of the absolute most played newcomers. and that has been with us since the start, if not the most played. And I love her. She's very elegant. I like that she's not over-sexualized. I really like her look, the awesome, classy dress. Her gameplay is amazing. It's Mishima light. It's Mishima without the execution. Great movement, great punish, keep out, magic 4. Mishima without execution and no electric, no wave dash. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting. If you like Mishimas but dislike execution, amazing character to pick up. And the fact that she's very tied to the story mode and she's dead in the story. But that will not stop them from putting her in Tekken 8. No way that's gonna stop them. She's so successful. She's played so much. The design is so great. The tiger gimmick is cool. Her connections to the story are cool. And she's so loved by the competitive scene. I mean, how many Kazumis do you see in competitive play? She's very beloved there and works so well from a competitive standpoint that all of this combined, I feel like there's no way they are leaving her out of Tekken 8. They did such a great job with this character that, dead or not, you know, that hasn't stopped them before from taking characters back. She will be in Tekken 8. And the next one I'm talking about is Claudio. Claudio, also a newcomer for Tekken 7, and you can tell they had great plans for Claudio, high hopes. They push him really hard as he has connections to the story. He's even featured in the story with dialogue, actual lines, and in the end doesn't have much of an impact. It seems like we didn't really know what they wanted to do with him. Oh, he's an exorcist. Oh, Devil Gene, look at Kazuya. And Claudio says, I could maybe do something with this. And then suddenly you don't really see him more in the story. But just the fact that he's featured in the story and not one of those terrible character episodes tells you that they have high hopes for Claudio. And Claudio represents the new Tekken 7, the new Tekken in my opinion, with his crazy brain-dead moves like his hop kick, his back one, is while running 2 easy combos, big damage, play him with 5 moves. It's the new Tekken, basically, or crazy crushing on his hop kick. It's the new Tekken. I'm not a huge fan of it, but this is the direction we're going in. And of course, he's part of the new characters in that. Not so much Kazumi, but you know, Katarina, Claudio, Lucky Chloe. Just obscene amounts of crushing and staying pretty safe while still having crazy steal your turn evasion, you know, with his hop kick and only being -13. So I don't like that, but it is the new Tekken and he's doing incredibly well online. No other character has a better win-loss ratio other than these crazy gimmicky DLC characters that no one plays and are only picked by veteran players. Zafina, Leroy. I think those are maybe Ganryu as well. Played by no one, only a few who obviously have already played Tekken games and you know who were the few character enthusiasts waiting for Zafina and Ganryu. Super tricky matchups and you see them so seldom but it's so hard to deal with them. They are doing better than Claudio. But if you remove them, that dude, no character is doing better. And he's been with us since the very original release of the game. And this is most likely due to his very easy nature. And that hop kick online is just nothing short of a joke, I would say. And beginner and intermediates don't punish hop kicks very often. So it's just... But yeah, Claudio is doing extremely well. They pushed him hard. He's the new modern easy Tekken. He's just doing very well. He will be in Tekken 8. And here we have a character I personally really dislike. I would have much rather seen Bruce come back. But Bruce, I've made a video on this, he's been replaced a million times. There just seems to be this thing where the community maybe doesn't really click with Bruce, and he doesn't have... he just has bad pick rates, and they feel like replacing him all the time. First Brian took his place, going from Tekken 2 to Tekken 3. And then Bruce came back for Tekken 5, and was in Tekken 6 and Tag 2. And then they replace him again with this. And then of course you have Fakumram. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Josie at all. It's just another female character who has huge tits, shows cleavage. Oh, check out my legs and my waist. Yeah, for those of you who like that, that's great. But you see this all everywhere in video games. That it would honestly be more interesting to see the opposite. A middle-aged woman who has an overall or a gi. I don't know, just something different would be cool for, I guess, if you want to take out Bruce. But yeah, and I don't like the bunny thing. I don't like the crying after matches. Oh, I can't believe I won. Oh. I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. But you know what? I'm in the minority. People really seem to like this design. It certainly has been accepted by the community. You see her in competitive play. She has great pick rates. She's one of the newcomers who's played a lot. And Bruce was always an easy character, and I think Josie is even easier. They've given her insane crushing, where maybe Bruce didn't have a lot. Like her down for 2, insane crushing. Her hop kick has pretty decent crushing. Her CD3 on counter it knocks down. Bruce never did. And she has more intricate strings as well. But yeah, the character is doing exceptionally well. So I guess huge thumbs up. Well, not... I personally don't like the design, but great job. You guys seem to love this character, so Bandai Namco have obviously done a great job. We replaced Bruce, take a gamble, go with this. And, well, that sex change paid off. Bruce not picked a lot, Josie picked a lot. So, yeah, surefire big hit will most likely will absolutely be in Tekken 8. But it's worth mentioning that another sex change that didn't work out was Raven. Raven, also notoriously unpopular character, even though I've always felt he's pretty cool. No one plays him. Sex change, Master Raven, but that didn't really take off, sorry. Master Raven doesn't have great pick rates, but this one really paid off for them. So yeah, that was my list. Do you agree or disagree? I read some pretty funny opinions and comments on my last video. Top 5 characters I believe would not make it to Tekken 8. So yeah, please make your own list, or what did you think of my list? Could be interesting for me to read when I'm out walking. So yeah, take care everyone, and thanks for listening to me.